So help me welcome to the stage Chris Smith for Coffee with Chris.
Check, 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 check. Yes. All right. Thank you guys so much for your time. Cool. Yeah, this is all Q&A. This is just 100% Q&A. I'm going to try to take 4 to 5 really great questions. It's really hard to see up here with the lights. So if you guys can make it super clear that you have a question, or my team. Awesome, Tammy. And here's the prize, like my brother mentioned, is a free pair of AirPods if you ask a great question. All right, let's get it started. Where's the microphone? Angela, please don't throw it. It's too early. Good morning, Jay Marks. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi.
How do we balance between being the branding ourselves and not coming off as the hero of our story, like what he talked about yesterday? I'm trying to figure out where the balance is between showcasing us and showcasing who we are and what we do with not making it be all about us. Where's that fine line and that balance?
Great question.
Excellent.
How many of you guys were thinking that something similar? You know, you want to go back and work on the personal brand, but Donald is telling you to make the customer the hero. I think that it's a really great thing to be thinking about it, because all of your competitors are thinking about how they're going to advertise more listings and homes, and you're choosing between you and your customer, so you're already going to win because you're focused on faces. Mm-hmm. I'll give you guys a cool little stat. You guys should Google this later today. It's called eye tracking studies, and they will actually watch creepily through your webcam while you browse the web. And they do a heat map, so they'll show you like where are people's eyes drawn, you know, when they're on a web page. And by far, the thing that draws people's eyes is people's eyes. It's not even close. So the way I'll find that balance, Tammy, is very simple. You've got a beautiful website and you can build a lot of pages. I would have pages dedicated to you and your husband and how amazing you are as the navigator. And I would have a lot of pages dedicated to how amazing the journey was for them. Okay. And I think that, quite frankly, and I love Donald, I thought he was amazing, there are people that are more interested in your skills than their situation, the last person you worked with situation. We call it a buyer persona, right? There's people that want to know that you're going to be great at negotiating and that you are going to answer your phone quick, and they want to hear that from you and look you in the eye and you tell them that. There's a lot of people that they would just read the Zillow reviews, or they would just read the past client stories on your site, and they would come to that moment without you having to kind of earn it. Mm-hmm. So I would say try to have it both ways. Okay. You know, if 50-50 is a good start there. Okay. And then if the 50% with you guys in it is getting you more business, do more of that. Mm-hmm. But I think that, you know, ultimately, when I think of buyers and sellers in real estate, or when I think of the way most people highlight their customers, it's usually pretty faceless and soulless, and I don't really see a family. I don't really see, you know, the guy with the keys pretty pumped up. Yeah. So I would say start with 50-50, okay, and then do what feels best, and then do what works best.
Can I ask a quick follow-up?
Please do.
Okay. On the top 5 things about a house, mm-hmm, is it top 5 things I love or top 5 things you'll love about this house?
What do you guys think it should be? Should it? Yeah. Okay. I think, again, I think it's both.
It's a subtle difference.
I think that you can do it both ways. I think that, you know, here's the 5 things the person that's going to buy this home is going to like the most.
Okay.
But here's the 5 things as an expert that's been selling homes in this area for the last 15 years that you're probably not even going to know about.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Well, we have a buddy named Matthew Shadbolt, and he used to work for the Corcoran Group, and then he went to work for the New York Times, and now he's working for Inman News. And he had a talk track where he said, what's beyond the 4 walls? Mm-hmm. You know, so what are the 5 things you'll love about living in the home? I'll be honest with you guys. One of the number 1 reasons I bought my home was the proximity to Starbucks. I'm not kidding. I go every morning. It's right on the way to work now. like we're working with the marketers now to do like, the 5 homes for sale right now closest to a coffee shop. You know what I mean? So, yeah, what are the 5 things? Maybe, it's got a cool bathroom or whatever. But I know for me, I love my home and I love what's outside the walls of my home. And I think for especially people that are moving to an area that they don't know anything about, that might actually be a little bit more important than the deck. Thank you. You get the AirPods. Great question. Jeff, how you feeling? Better? Good. I don't want to jump. Little back pain. Those are awesome is what those are. They're $149, and they will connect to your it connects to your computer. It's Bluetooth, so it's Bluetooth enabled, but yeah, you should only have an iPhone if that was your question. All right, we have some hands up back here. I'll come to you next, Julie, after this. Please say your name and where you're from, too, before you start. No way everyone can learn that.
Hi, Amy Foley from Portland, Maine.
Good morning, Amy.
Hi, how are you?
I love Portland, Maine. I went to Portland, Maine for one day, and it snowed 18 inches that one day. And I went right back to Florida, but go ahead.
Yeah, come in July. It's much better. We opened our own brokerage 6 months ago, and we are struggling with branding. Our team is our brand, and that's what makes us money, but we also need to brand our brokerage, and we really struggle with how to do that and how to balance it, because we obviously still need to support ourselves with our team, but we need to get our brokerage brand out there.
Yeah, it's anybody else here in that same boat where you have the brokerage? And the way I try to think about where to focus is think about a champagne glass tower, right? If you overflow the top glass, it flows into the rest of them. And so ideally, the things you focus on in market and brand can kind of trickle through and help everything. I don't know if, here's one quick answer that comes to mind. What percentage of your income comes from your team versus your brokerage ownership? No, you don't have to answer that. But most of the people tell me they make more money from their team than from their brokerage ownership.
Oh, hands down.
So let's say you're making 80% of your income from the team and 20% is coming from the brokerage. That is how I would think about my time right there. That's how I would think about my branding and my emails and my marketing and my website. I would just look at that 80-20 or 90-10 or 70-30. Now, if you're blessed and your brokerage, there's like 2 people where their brokerage makes more than their team. If you're one of those 2 people, then you should probably put that 50, 60, 70% in. I think what you're really asking is, how can we do marketing that helps our agents, not just us?
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
What I would say would be, don't overthink what they want. What they want is opportunities to make money.
Yep.
I don't know that most of the people that are on your team really even give a shit about branding. They're trying to pay their bills. They're trying to feed their family. So for me, my first focus for the brokerage and branding would be making sure that the people on my team had at-bats. And then once they had at-bats and they had a pipeline and they had people that they could call and kind of make money from, then I would work on their personal brand. I would help your agents with their personal branding as your brokerage branding strategy.
That's what we actually are doing, so it's nice to hear it from you.
Good.
That
Now
we're doing the right thing.
6 months in, 16 months in, it pops.
Yep. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. You get a pair of AirPods. That was a great question.
Nice, thank you.
And Portland, Maine is a beautiful place. It really is.
It really is.
I just almost died driving to work that day. Let's go right here. Amy, is that you? What's your name? Gia. Close enough. Angela's right behind you with the mic. Sorry.
Here, just talk right into it.
It is 3 letters, A-M-Y-G-I-A.
Yes. Angela, will you come grab these and bring those to the winner there too? All right, Gia. Where are you from?
Boca Raton, Florida.
Awesome. The rat's mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a videographer for a reason. Sorry, Will. Did I not mention he's famous yesterday, Jan? All right. Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday was all about stories.
Yeah.
Which was a huge aha moment. At the same time, some stories obviously are going to be pre-recorded, and need to be edited. For those that are just getting started with stories, is Marketer going to have any
Will we help
thing
you with
in there?
stories?
Exactly. Help us to either get the stories out, edit the stories, and help us move forward while we're taking that step forward to teach us? Or is that something we're going to have to learn on your own moving forward?
Yeah, great question. I would say number one, we're already teaching you more about stories than anyone in the world. And I would go back to our summer of service when Annette and I did back-to-back Instagram shows. We went crazy deep on stories in those shows. Now, when there is something that can help your business grow and you're willing to pay us to work on it, we're going to consider that as something we will sell you. It's just that we don't rush into it. We want to make sure it can actually get you traction. So I would say for the next 2 to 3 months, 4 months, we're going to be focused on teaching you how to create great stories. Now, do you guys remember the ribbons that we would give you where it was like just listed and it was like a beautiful
Yes.
badge?
Yes.
So I am going to have my design team and marketing team building frames for stories that you can overlay on your pictures, and we'll give you guys dozens and dozens of those for free.
Oh,
Yep.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mike, sorry if I didn't mention that we were going to do that.
Surprise.
But we want you guys to do it and do it right. It's not overly complex. Here's another good tip. There's something called a stock story. I mean, this is just the way we view it. You're going to have stuff happening each day, and you're going to have stuff you can edit and post each day. But there's stuff that you can repeat. Like something like, want to know what your home's worth, as an example. Something like, have you seen the newest listings in our market? Something like, are you following us on Twitter? Something like, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? Something like, have you met our founder, right? What Annette and I do is we have a Google Drive doc that every time we do a story that's evergreen, that we could post again in the future, we save it in that Google Drive called Stock Stories. And then if we're running low on inspiration, or if we don't have a bunch of new and original content, we have one for my book and one for my Twitter. So it can be a hybrid of things that you could rinse and repeat over time, combined with the new original stuff, combined with the stuff that you edit quite a bit. But I would imagine, and you're getting a little bit ahead of something I was going to say later today, but I would imagine that we'll be managing Instagram ads for you guys in the very near future.
Okay, cool beans. That's what I was hoping to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I love Boca. Let's have lunch one day. We're 45. I'll have lunch with you. Yep. Hey, Sandra. Good morning. All right. Where are we headed? Julie? Julie Farmer? Do we have, hold on, let's let Angela get here. I really can't see out this way, so if you guys stand. Amit, we'll go to you next. Julie, Amit. Back to back.
Chris, yesterday when
Hold
Don
it a
was,
little closer.
yesterday when he was talking about our one-liners for our, branding us
Yes,
or
ma'am.
whatever. Well, we're revamping our website, to make it go live.
I love that word, revamp.
Yeah, revamp.
We'll be talking about that at lunch today. Go ahead.
Well, we're running a little slow on ours.
Yeah.
So these one-liners, and he had make it less, I guess, not so busy on your website. So, we have all those headers across the top. That,
Yeah.
I mean, are y'all saying we should maybe go away with those? What do you think about the one-liners? Because you would think he's a, what would you be?
Mine's the worst one ever.
What does yours say right now?
Experience you can count on, service you can trust. People think I'm a hooker.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So,
Or a politician.
well, you're always so creative. What are
14
some?
years since
Yeah.
my producer days.
So, Julie, number one, forget about the navigation and what it says at the top. That's not your problem.
Okay, that's y'all's.
No, that's the way that websites work in the world
Right.
we live in.
Okay,
They have
good.
menus and tabs.
Okay, well, I don't want to overthink it
Yeah,
because.
you're overthinking it. What
Right.
you need to focus on is the headline and the subheadline above the fold.
Well, you're so creative. Why don't you throw some out there?
Well, you know what? I am going to defer. I am going to defer to our amazing speaker, Phil Jones, later. He's going to tell you exactly what to say.
Oh, perfect.
And I think that a lot of the things he'll tell you what to say in a sales context can apply to your website. But what I would avoid would be the best realtor ever.
Right.
What I would avoid is experience you can count on. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that we've done a really good job of at Curaytor recently is, what is the pain point for the people that are looking to hire us? And how can we make sure that we address that won't happen here? We have a friend up in Canada, Melanie Pichet. She's an awesome lady up in Canada. Her and her husband, I've hung out with them several times. And they do a great job with their own stuff. They're not even customers. And in their header, you know, kind of like an announcement, like we released yesterday, it says, you know, text this to get this, right? Very common call to action.
Right.
And then below it, it says, don't worry, we're not desperate for business and we won't stalk you.
I like that.
Is that a good suggestion?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
You always have good ones.
we had one with Jimmy's brother-in-law owns a gym. You guys should check out this site, dynamicsc.com. They do a magical job of what you're asking. Dynamicsc.com. And I was talking with Matt, and I gave him a suggestion because they have a marquee. You know, they have a billboard right in front of their store, and they can, you know, put the letters, you know, like funny church signs, like they can put a sign. And so he said, what should my sign be? I said, your sign should be working out sucks. It just sucks less here.
See, I told you you're creative.
And he sent me a picture. He changed it the next day. I mean, so be a human. Like, I remember there's a brand out in Arizona called Firefly Realty. And on their lawn signs, it says, beats your mom's basement. That's the kind of language I love. I think that it should build a little trust and give a little smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully that's a good answer.
Thank you.
Julie.
Who's next?
All right, Amit, the main man. Are you guys excited for Pitchfest later today? This is going to be fun, you guys. We really truly believe that there's not a community or a company in the world that could host this event with class and dignity. We think that you guys are really to go back to back, Remax, Keller, EXP, Compass, Boutique, you know, Berkshire, Coldwell. You know, I don't know that it's ever been done. Number one, we like doing things that are new and original. But number two, I just don't think another organization could pull it off because it would end up being like a Jerry Springer episode. So I can't wait to hear what you say later today. Amit representing Compass, and I'm excited to answer your question right now, my friend.
Compass.
What you got?
Because of Curaytor, I've been able to grow my team, and I get asked all the time by newer agents that assume they're good at everything, a little bit good at everything. What would my first step be for them as far as teaching them, using them as that agent the best way I can?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, there's two ways to teach people, Amit. You teach them using a manual, and you teach them using an onboarding, like how if you got a job at Quicken Loans, 5 hours, 50 hours a week, check. Check. No way. This is not. You can go through a training program at Quicken Loans, or you can go shadow their number one banker for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think that the best thing you can offer anybody that you hire is you. I want to be in your car. I want to go on every showing. I want to sit there and look over your shoulder while you write a contract. I want to go to the listing appointment and sit on the side. For me personally, I learn better through osmosis. For a lot of people, they want the notebook, they want the pen and paper, they want the microphone to work. You know what I'm saying? Check. So they want the.
Sorry.
Covering the bottom.
Yeah, I'm sure it's my fault. Oh, at this point, what the hell? This is ridiculous. It's supposed to be coffee with Chris, not cubes with Chris. Amit, here's what you do. Week 1 and 2, we're hitting the books, okay? Week 1 and 2 is HR, ethics, how to do this, what's the MLS, terminology. Week 3 and 4, I don't leave your side, okay? Week 5 and 6, what I tell all my employees is think of a slingshot, okay? The longer and further you pull it back, the further the thing flies. We have a tendency as business owners when we hire someone to just want to. And what I've learned through trial and error and through making a lot of mistakes is that you can't just throw them to the wolves. When I got hired at Quicken Loans, I had to work 5 50-hour weeks in a row before I was even allowed to go make a call to a lead that was 5 years old and wouldn't answer. I think that there's not enough training and education and learning. So that's the way I would approach it. I hope that's a decent answer.